URC round number 14, folks. Sharks and Leinster. And it's a young Leinster side who goes into Durban and walks away with a 3-point win in a game which saved me a bit of ink on the whiteboard because there wasn't a heck of a lot of scoring. One try to the Sharks plus a conversion and 2 tries to Leinster, Frawley missing both the conversions. So, yeah, relatively low-scoring game. Error count probably a little bit high. Some tough conditions in Durban. You know it's tough when the ref, after an hour, basically says to the props and front rowers, come on, guys, it's 30 degrees. I'm going to melt. Well, if he was going to melt, imagine how those big units felt. But, yeah, that'll be pretty disappointing for the Sharks because they had a bunch of the big guns on display, whereas Leinster less so, and they still managed to get a win. We'll go through the key events, which ones there are, and some of the stats, and you guys can let us know your thoughts on how this game played out. The Sharks had a heap of pressure early on. Not opting for threes is maybe going to be a bit of a regret, but hindsight's obviously 2020, but they had multiple kickable shots they could have taken early. They pushed for a try. They did get Leinster on the yellow card warning early, but eventually when their attacking play came to your Pinkler, he ended up knocking the ball on, so the chance was kind of missed. The Sharks were able to steal Leinster line-out ball and potentially set up a quick kind of counter-attacking play, but Pinkler knocked it on again, so a bit unfortunate for him. Leinster managed to go like 14 phases down the Sharks' end, but it looked like they'd knocked it on. However, they found out that there was a Jaden Hendricks little boot in there, knocking the ball out the hand illegally. So he got yellow carded for some cynical play, and Leinster punished pretty much straight away. They were able to shift the ball right to the substitute McAlane, who'd come on the right wing. He just came on for a brief period to score a try before going back off because he was only on as an HIA replacement, but he got himself a try. Missed conversion, like I said, but 5 points to nil. So Leinster will be pretty happy with that, having defensively held out early on. And, Leinster did have a bunch of phases down the Sharks' end not too long later, looking to, again, capitalise with the extra man. But Pinkler, who had a couple of errors on attack, actually managed to intercept and shut down a Leinster move not long later. So, neither side really able to take full advantage of their opportunities, but Leinster took one, which was more than what the Sharks took in the first half. The scrum was certainly the best-looking area of the Sharks game. Vincent Koch and Oxenche going to town on the Leinster guys. Largely every scrum was ending in a Sharks penalty, but despite it getting them down to the Leinster half, they were just unable to convert. I think it was pretty frustrating because we had some handbags right before halftime, and I feel like, part of that was the amount of drop ball, lack of chances converted, frustrating the players. Possession and territory are pretty even at halftime. Turnovers conceded likewise 7-6. Line breaks is 2 apiece. They've both made 80-plus tackles. Leinster have kicked a bit more ball is the one stat, which is kind of along with the score. The bigger number is in Leinster's favour with 11 kicks to the Sharks 6. Second half starts with, again, a bunch of Sharks phases, but Leinster once again able to win themselves a penalty at the breakdown. And then Kieran Frawley, when they get themselves on attack, is able to put Scott Penny through a nice gap. He's another substitute, so 2 substitutes, 2 tries for Leinster. Connors had gone off injured, sadly, but Penny comes on, gets himself a try. Conversion hits the post. It was probably a kickable one, but 10 points to nil. That's the final scoring for Leinster. We've still got a lot of game to go, but the Sharks are as yet not on the board, although it was kind of a quick-fire double in terms of tries scored because the Sharks went pretty much straight down the other end when Leinster conceded a soft penalty at line-out time, and the Sharks got their maul going. Bongi was able to peel off and score a try, which was converted to make it 10 points to 7. And that is the final scoring of the game. Everything else is largely defensive plays and knock-ons. Like Chituka knocks it on from the restart. That's Vincent, I think it was. And it was a scrum. The resulting scrum resulted in a Sharks penalty. But Leinster didn't concede any points. Ethan Hooker was held up on attack. That was probably the Sharks' next best, closest chance. A bit of desperation defence from the Leinster guys. The ref on 65 minutes gave both front rows a big talking to. That was, I think, after that moment, the one time that Leinster were actually able to win a scrum penalty. So that seemed to work, but the Sharks were able to win a penalty on defence anyway. And then they subbed their front row, and then the Sharks lost the resulting line out for it not being straight, which was frustrating. Another kick into Leinster territory from the Sharks, and again, line out issues from the Sharks. So just errors, not straights. When they finally got the line out right on 77 minutes, the Sharks, they got the maul going, a couple of phases to their backs, and they knocked it on. 79 minutes, like there was still a chance. The Leinster guys got pinged for a neck roll. Khaleesi has the call. Do we go for poles to make it a draw, or do we go for the corner? They opted for the corner. They got the line out right, uncontested. They mauled it. They got the backs in there. The maul stops, goes to ground, is not coming out. And that is game over. Leinster guys celebrate, and pretty rightly so. They interview Max Deegan on the pitch after the game, and his first words are that he's pretty effing proud. Sorry for swearing, he says. So, yeah, certainly meant a lot to them, even if on the log, Leinster are still really comfortably at the top. You could tell it was a great experience for these guys to go down to Durban and play some top players and get a result. So possession and territory are split. Leinster edged the territory, Sharks edged the possession. The Leinster guys conceded 14 penalties to the Sharks 8, a lot of them through the props because scrum time was dominated by the Sharks. Both sides made 100 plus tackles, 137 for Leinster, 155 for the Sharks. Clean breaks was 4 each, but yeah, no tries coming from the Sharks clean breaks, whereas the Leinster guys were able to get a little bit of conversion there. Turnovers conceded, though, is the brutal one, 16-13. Both sides will be a little bit frustrated with how much ball they dropped. Like Penkler dropped 4, Mpimpi's got 2, Jaden Hendricks has got 2, Vincent Chituka's got 2. Yeah, a little bit lacking that kind of clinical edge in home conditions. Deegan had 12 carries, gets man of the match, so congratulations to them. Ox also had 12 carries, so both those guys very busy on the ball, but yeah, pretty frustrating one if you're a Sharks fan. Cracking to see your depth going if you're a Leinster fan. Once the URC gets back underway in mid-April, Leinster will take on Ulster at home, and the Sharks, I believe, are away to Edinburgh. But yeah, you guys let us know your thoughts. As I said, not too much trouble in the scorers, but that is a win for Leinster. You guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.